Hey, how's it going everybody? This is Easy Speeds and Feeds, and today I'll show you how to do dynamic milling, helix boring, chamfering, and 3D surfacing all with the same tool. So let's get started here. Okay, so here's our part. Pretty simple. We'll pretend it's aluminum. We got 4 levels. We have profile, stock, and wireframe. What we're going to do is we're going to use a 1/2 inch end mill with a 30 thou radius. So a bowl end mill, and we're going to try to do this whole thing with it. So first we'll do dynamic mill. We'll select the outside for machining regions. Switch it to climb cutting. Click the check mark. Avoidance regions, we're going to click on the profile of the part. So we'll go back to levels. Activate the profile and deselect all the other levels. Okay, so now we can click on it a little bit easier. Switch to climb cutting. Click the check. Next, we're going to do from outside. Okay, so now we find our tool. We go to Tool, select Library Tool, go to Filter, and right now 1/2 inch flat end mills are selected. We want 1/2 inch bowl end mills selected. So we go 2 over, click on the bowl end mill, which is just a normal flat end mill with a radius. So we go down to 1/2 inch, 31 thou and 3/10 radius, click the check, make that tool 1. Now we go to Easy Speeds and Feeds. We find some speeds and feeds that will work. Type in 1,000 surface feet, 1/2 inch diameter, 3 teeth. We'll go 4 thou inch per tooth. Now we'll type in our RPM and inch per rev. And so we're going to go about 7,690 inches a minute. Sounds about right for aluminum. We'll type that in. Now we go to linking parameters, click on depth. We'll activate the solid model, click on the bottom. It's 1.5 inches. We'll go a little bit past because it has a radius. We'll go 75 thou deeper. Stock to leave on walls, set that to 0. Step over, we'll go 50 thou. So, click the check mark. And there we go. We got some good toolpaths. Now next, we're going to do some helix bore. And we're going to select that inner diameter right there. Click the check mark. Tool, 1/2 inch end mill. Spindle speed 7,500. Our feed rate's not going to be 90 inches a minute. We're going to slow it down just a little bit. We go 25 and 25. Cut parameters, we'll set stock to leave on walls and floors to 0. Linking, we'll click on depth. Click the bottom of the hole. Okay, minus 700 thou, that works. Rough pitch, instead of 80, we'll go 20. Feed rate, final depth, 100%. Helix downwardly. Finish pitch, go a little bit tighter, we'll go 10 thou. Finish step over, we'll go about 2 thou. So 2 thou finish step over. 100% feed rate, 100% spindle speed. And click the check mark. So there we go. We dynamic the outside, we helix bored those holes out. Next, we need to do some surfacing. And we'll focus on those chamfers first, the hole chamfers. So we go to flow line, click on the solid right there, go down to flow line, click cut direction, and click it so it looks like a spiral. So that looks good. Next, spindle speed 7500, feed rate 90 inches a minute, plunge rate 20, retract, that's fine. Go to finish flow line parameters, click on distance, and we'll go, I'm thinking 2 thou. We'll give it a really nice surface finish. We'll go 2 thou. And cutting method, we don't want zigzag, we want spiral. So change that to spiral, 2 thou per pass. And now we'll give it a really nice surface finish. Okay. So one of the last things we need to do is flow line in 3D. We have flow line the fillet radiuses on the end of the part. So click on flow line. Hit end selection. Click on flow line again. Click cut direction. So it looks like, okay, that looks good. And speeds and feed looks okay. Distance, that looks okay. Gap settings, tangential line length, we're going to add some so it starts off the part. 1.25. 0.125, sorry. So your end mill is starting off the part, which is what I always like to do. Next, we're going to add some stock. So when we go into verify, everything looks right. So we'll go back to levels, activate our stock level. Then we go to stock setup, click on bounding box, click on the stock wireframe, hit end selection. Then here we can click where X, Y, Z 0 is, which is right at the top right there. And in Z we can add some depth, so we'll add 1.75 inches. Okay. As you can see, added some stock, which will really help us out when we view and verify. So we select the whole thing, click on verify. We'll let it load up here. Takes a little bit. Okay, so it's loaded up. We want to get rid of the tool holder and just focus on the tool. So deselect the holder. Let's click play. Slow down just a little bit. So there it is, dynamicing the outside. Helix bored it really quick, and now it's doing its surfacing 2 thou per pass. So it's taking a ton of passes at 90 inches a minute. Going 2 thou per pass will give it a really nice surface finish. Keep in mind, if we had a flat end mill, surfacing is much harder because you don't have that nice radius. So if you had a flat end mill, you'd have to go like 5/10 per pass or something crazy like that. It would take forever. So using a bull end mill, you can do a lot of surfacing. Gives you a lot more options versus a flat end mill. Okay, so that's done. We're almost done. That's looking good. Now it's surfacing the outside, surfacing the other side. And there you go. That's how you do dynamic milling, helix boring, and surfacing all with the same tool. So you could probably, if you want, go a little bit more aggressive with the surfacing and then go back in with a ball and mill. Say you could do like 25 thou step over, and go back in with a ball and mill and do like 1 thou step over. But that's just, a quick overview of how to do it. And I hope you guys liked the video. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you later. Thanks.